and maybe we can end on this. Club World Cup, I jokingly said in another group chat, I was like, Miami's gonna get a group with like Porto and Ulsan and like whatever your worst team from pot one is. And well, they didn't get, the worst team from pot one. They did get Porto, and then they got Al Ali from the Egyptian league. So, I was 1 for 3 on teams that they got grouped with, but I think
They
realistically,
also got Palmeiras. You forgot to
yeah,
mention.
yep, Palmeiras. That was the pot one team that they got. And I think out of all the teams from the various different groups they could have gotten, maybe only Al Ali is one that I look at and say, that's a tough opponent from that pot that they could be paired up against, because there are some amazing teams in the same drawing that Porto came from. There are some amazing teams in the same drawing that Palmeiras came from. Like they could have gotten Bayern Munich, right? They didn't. They could have gotten, like eh, anything, right? Like Manchester City didn't get them. Again, got the team that I think you could feasibly say, I don't know if they could beat, but they might not get blown out by them. They might stay in it. Contrast that with Seattle. I don't know, Gavin, if you conveniently have Seattle's group up right now. Brutal. Like worst case scenario for an MLS club.
Yeah, yeah. I put a whatever it's called, a post out on Blue Sky, and I said, "What do you think of Seattle's draw?" And somebody responded with, "I hope they let third or fourth place into the next round because Seattle ain't making it out."
Yeah, it's not. Do you remember the teams in that
Oh
draw
yeah,
by
yeah.
chance?
I thought you were gonna call them out. It's Botafogo out of Brazil, Atletico Madrid, and PSG.
That's a tough group.
Yeah, yeah,
That group says fourth place finish.
it
If I'm a
does.
Seattle, and I want the best for them, but I don't see Seattle competing with any of those teams, unfortunately.
I'm actually pretty excited for the Club World Cup. I didn't like the format before. I never really paid much attention to it. I like this format a little bit more. It obviously sucks as more games for the players, but I think this is a good format. So that's my take on the cup. And then only thing to call out for Seattle though is all three games are at Lumen Field. So
Interesting.
something interesting there. Yeah, all three games are home in June for Seattle, whereas Miami play two of their games at home, but they play against Porto at Mercedes Benz. Or, well, they're not even at home, they're at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. So they're in Miami, but they're not at their current stadium. And then Porto's at Mercedes Benz in Atlanta. But yeah, I agree with all that. Miami definitely got a group where they could get out and potentially make it to the knockout rounds. And then from there, they will probably face a pretty tough opponent where Messi will have to, pull some magic. Him and Busquets and Jordi Alba, they'll have to run it back a little bit. And Suarez, and then, or no, Suarez retire?
No, no, they
No.
brought him back again.
Okay, so okay, that's what I just want to confirm. And then Seattle, yeah, is good luck Seattle. Hopefully you can sneak a couple wins, but
A
uh,
couple. Sneak a win.
hopefully you can sneak a win. But yeah, not looking good.
I worry for Seattle. Like. I really hope they do well, because out of all the teams that are not my team, Seattle's, I have no negative feeling towards them.
Sorry to cut you out of the conversation, David. I'll let you jump in here, but I do think it's important that MLS and not just Miami, so Seattle in this instance, show well in this competition and at least show that we have some quality. I do worry that we're going to get into this competition, Seattle and Miami, and it's just going to be 4-0, 5-0, easy peasy. That's damaging for the league. That's just from a marketing standpoint, from fans across the United States who are paying attention to this Club World Cup, because people hear World Cup and they're like, "Ooh, what's that? I'm interested." So I think it's good branding, and it's in the United States. This is a good opportunity to get some fans, and we have to show up for it. We being Seattle and Miami.
Well, I made my voice heard on Twitter and I got killed for it. So it is what it is. It is what it is. But how dare they give Messi FC a ticket to the FIFA Club World Cup and not the LA Galaxy? LA Galaxy will be more exciting to watch. There will be more of an attack. They'll give a little more competition to the other teams than whatever Messi FC can do and Mascherano FC can do. Mascherano can't even coach the U20 team, and you're expecting him to coach against the Libertadores winners, the South American Cup winners, the Brazilian winners. He can't even coach Messi and his friends. All they know how to do is cookouts at the practices. That's all they've been doing. All the asadas, what they call it, they've been just grilling food, listening to some music, drinking some, what's that drink called they always drink? Mate. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
That's all. Instead of being Suarez and Messi walking out with mate, now Mascherano's going to walk with them with mate in hand as well. And what is Brazilian clubs gonna do? Just dance samba all over us? Literally, literally. What did Messi FC win to get into this position? Nothing, except be FIFA's boy.
No, David. They won the Supporter
They got invited
Shield.
before the Supporter Shield.
Well, they did. I think it was when they were mathematically.
They got invited before the
close to
Supporter
it.
Shield. It's messed up. And shout out to MLS, by the way. MLS did write to FIFA saying they didn't agree with it. It was unfair. FIFA ignored them because nobody can mess with FIFA's pretty boy over there. They just needed one last gift. That being said, I don't know, man. Miami's defense sucks. It's trash. Miami's defense is trash, and
But they have 2 transfer windows to get it right.
yeah,
It's not
yeah.
until June.
And they did let go of 2 defenders this week or last week.
They needed to.
Yes, man. It's just if it our worst fear, like Gavin said, is getting smoked, getting humiliated. Is our worst fear. A team that can put up a better fight, although they have a tougher opponent, is the Seattle Sounders. Tougher opponents, but have a tendency to kind of put up a better fight, right? Due to their coach they have, the strategies they use. But we missed out on Peck. Ricky probably should be back by then. Right? With today's recovery, they recover really fast. Just missed out on those opportunities there and kind of sucks. But yeah, we'll see what happens.